Rebecca and Charlie's falling out in Landman doesn't happen because of one dramatic betrayal or explosive argument. It happens the way most real breakups do, through accumulated pressure, unspoken expectations, and a fundamental misunderstanding of what each other actually needs. What makes their split so important isn't the romance itself, but what it reveals about Rebecca, her priorities, and the dangerous moment M-Tex is in. At the start, Rebecca and Charlie's relationship feels like a rare pocket of calm in an otherwise chaotic season. Charlie represents something uncomplicated. He's supportive, present, and removed from the daily grind of M-Tex's crises. For Rebecca, that's appealing. She spends her professional life navigating legal landmines, corporate power plays, and moral gray zones. Charlie offers emotional safety, or at least the illusion of it. The problem is that Rebecca doesn't actually have room for safety right now. As Season 2 progresses, Rebecca becomes increasingly consumed by the insurance fight, the offshore fallout, and the growing realization that M-Tex may not survive unless someone is willing to push back hard. Her role shifts from advisor to potential combatant. She's no longer just protecting the company, she's preparing to go to war on its behalf. That shift fundamentally changes what she can give emotionally, and Charlie doesn't fully understand that. Charlie's expectations are reasonable in a normal relationship. He wants time, honesty, and emotional availability. He wants to feel like a priority. But Rebecca is operating in crisis mode, and in crisis mode, priorities narrow. M-Tex becomes existential. The insurance case becomes urgent. Cammie's indecision becomes dangerous. Everything else, including Charlie, gets pushed to the margins. What creates the rift isn't Charlie asking for too much. It's Rebecca being unable to give anything at all. Instead of addressing this directly, Rebecca does what she often does professionally. She compartmentalizes. She tries to keep her relationship separate from her work, believing that if she just manages both carefully, neither will collapse. But the truth is, separation isn't possible anymore. The legal battle she's gearing up for will define her days, her reputation, and potentially her future. Charlie isn't just outside that world, he's uncomfortable with it. Charlie's unease grows as Rebecca becomes more aggressive and less emotionally accessible. He starts to sense that he's dating someone who is mentally somewhere else, someone preparing for something he can't be part of. That distance creates insecurity, and insecurity leads to friction. Conversations become strained. Small disagreements feel heavier. Silence stretches longer than it should. The falling out accelerates when Charlie begins to question Rebecca's choices rather than just her availability. From his perspective, the fight isn't worth the cost. The risk seems enormous. Why sacrifice peace, stability, and personal happiness for a company that may not survive anyway? It's a fair question, but it's the wrong one to ask Rebecca. For Rebecca, walking away isn't an option. Not because of loyalty, but because of identity. She's built her career on standing firm when pressure mounts. The moment she backs down, she becomes someone else. Charlie doesn't see the distinction clearly. He frames the situation as a choice between work and life. Rebecca sees it as a choice between integrity and retreat. That difference in worldview is the real breaking point. The more Charlie pushes for her to step back, the more Rebecca feels misunderstood. To her, his concern sounds like doubt. His desire for balance feels like an attempt to soften her resolve. Whether that's his intention or not, it creates resentment. Rebecca doesn't want comfort right now. She wants conviction. Charlie can't offer that because he doesn't share the same stakes. The situation becomes even more complicated because of optics. Rebecca is already navigating professional scrutiny. Being romantically involved with someone connected to M-Tex operations puts her under a microscope. Any perceived conflict of interest threatens her credibility at the exact moment she needs to be unimpeachable. Charlie doesn't fully grasp how high the cost could be, but Rebecca does. Every decision she makes is filtered through the question, will this weaken my position when it matters most? At some point, Rebecca realizes the relationship isn't just a distraction, it's a liability. Not because Charlie is doing anything wrong, but because she can't afford divided focus. That realization doesn't come with relief. It comes with guilt. She cares about Charlie, but Caring isn't enough to justify staying when she knows she can't show up fully. The falling out, when it finally happens, feels quiet and unresolved, and that's intentional. There's no villain in the breakup. Charlie isn't wrong for wanting more. Rebecca isn't wrong for choosing the fight ahead of her. They're simply out of alignment in a moment where alignment is everything. Narratively, the breakup serves a bigger purpose. It strips Rebecca down to her core motivation. She's not driven by romance, validation, or escape. She's driven by responsibility and resolve. Losing Charlie reinforces how isolated her position has become and how much she's willing to sacrifice to see this through. It also reinforces one of Landman's central themes. Crisis doesn't just break systems, it breaks relationships. When stakes rise high enough, something always gets left behind. For Rebecca, that something is personal connection. In the end, Rebecca and Charlie don't fall apart because they stop caring. They fall apart because they care about different things at a moment when compromise isn't possible. Charlie wants a future built on stability. Rebecca is walking straight into instability by choice. And that choice tells us everything about who she is and what she's willing to lose to protect what she believes is right.